see here. Oh, hey, are we recording? Yo, it's DaBLackKing, and welcome back. DaBLackKing plays Final Fantasy 7. Now, you caught me in the middle of shopping here. So, yeah, I'm gonna buy this off screen, cause I'm gonna refill my stack. But, something to do with the bonus video. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I'll be right back after these brief messages. Now, as you can tell, I was just in Fort Condo. Now, I got the thing over here. And unfortunately, though, because I was going to do the Chocobo trick with bringing getting the car and the airplane over here. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part. Okay. Anyway, the unfortunate part is the whole thing is that I actually had to use a cheat code. And that's not something, I mean, I know I've done it before, but not, I know I've done it well, legitimately, but the first time, never done it before, just to do this. But, this was the second time I had to use it. But I know you can do this regularly. I've never actually done anything with it regularly where I could bring, thing. But I know I've written the Chocobo, legitimately without cheat codes across the sort of riverbanks. Now, riverbanks, not like, what I mean is, in other words, basically, you take the Chocobo. I'll just show you. I'll be right back. I'll go over to it real quick. Also, yeah, I went ahead and had to use up a temp because I forgot I needed to heal up. And I bought another one just to replace the 89, but whatever. Anyway, so like around here, like when you get like to the Chocobo tracks, I don't remember if I did it really early enough in the game, but I know at some point you can do it legitimately. And I don't mean you can cross big rivers. No, you can't get very far by no means, but you should be able to at least get up to, no doubt, somewhere to even get up to Nibelheim. I don't know about after that, but, so, which leads me to conclude that there should be a way, and I know damn well it was in this game, because no other game that I've ever known lets you actually do that, and then have, if you want to do full access to other places, which, by the way, there are places we cannot get to. I believe I've said this before, but I don't remember if I actually, for sure or not, but there's places that even the the next mode of transportation can't get to, no matter what. So you need like a Go Chocobo or a transporter to get over there. I think that's one of them. And then there's another location except of a transporter. Somebody told me that. But either way, yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to have a bonus episode. This is just a little bit of a brief bonus, but not very much of a full bonus because I was not able to do that. Which means I need to reset, and, I would love to have done this because I love cheating. I really do. I don't love cheating like it's better, but I don't think not cheating is any better than, than cheating itself. I really think it's both equal, like 50-50, to be honestly fair. Just depends on what you're kind of in the mood for, to have some kind of funness to challenge yourself. Because even with cheat code, you can still kind of challenge yourself. It just depends on what you're doing and what cheat code you're actually using. But see, I use the cheat code term to have any Chocobo that I catch to have gold Chocobo abilities. And yes, I know I talk about it, but it's not like I'm showing it. I'm just saying. But what I wanted to say, though, is that, unfortunately, that's what I had to do. But I wanted to actually do this normally. I was trying to figure out how I could do that without it. I was like, you're going to really seriously make me do that, really, game? And I know damn well you can. I've done this I never actually did it with this part particularly that I can remember anyway. But I do know that, I think I got lost a little bit when I did it. And this was legitimately without a cheat code whatsoever. Believe it or not. And I had the Chocobo on. No gold Chocobo abilities or nothing like that. And I was able to go through, well, basically that. And so that's exactly what happened. So I turn around. I don't know or remember what point the game was. It might have been early in the game, some early point, or a little bit later. I don't know. I just know for a fact that there's some way to do it. I think there might be something wrong with my emulation here, my limited game here, because you're supposed to be able to do it. I don't know if it's a point in the game or, at some point in the game where it's just not happening with this thing. But either way, that's what I wanted to show you, because really, pretty much it can be done without cheating, but I couldn't show it successfully without, well, actually I didn't even show it cheating, but I was trying to do it successfully, legitimately, and I wound up deleting that video because what a waste. Because I went all the way that far, and then I deleted the video because I couldn't get no further. What I wanted to do, because I could bring the car over here, that's not it. It's getting the Chocobo to go all the way and get this airplane, and then bring it over here. And I actually have a save file, believe it or not, that I actually did it legitimately without the gold Chocobo. So, and I don't remember what point I did it in either. Might have been a little bit later after I did the whole thing. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to wait or not, because our next destination, we don't have to go there. Doesn't matter what time in the game, whatsoever. At least that I'm aware of, anyway. For where Yuffie's homeland is, and do the because it's basically like a side quest, but it's sort of like the main storyline, but but it's just still optional, completely optional, and you can wait till like disc 2 or disc 3 to do it. And something about disc 3 being where you can get something else, because there's something there that we can't get a hold of at this point, even if we did get over there. I'm not sure about disc 2. But there are places we can get access to on disc 3, not disc 2, I think. I don't know. I just know that our next mode of transportation won't even allow us to go over there. As far as Chocobos go, we have to kind of see. Yeah, I may have to do something along those rides, because this is not going to be a full 100%, like I said before, and this ain't going to be none of that, oh, okay, I'm going to Chocobo race. I might do that like a bonus thing, an actual bonus video, like after I've like beaten the game or gotten close to before I got to the final boss, in the game. But there's actually many places I've never even been in the final area. Yeah, no. So, yeah, this is just a pre-solitude into the bonus episode of what would happen if you had gotten this over here, like with cheats, you might say, even though that I didn't actually show off using cheats. Even if I had, I don't see anything wrong with that, but I'd have to put it on BitChute, because it's not to say or promote cheating, it's not even to promote not cheating, because I'm going to be fair about it. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Cheating is cheating, and it's not that bad. Literally, you're taking it way too out of context when you say, it's so bad that you shouldn't cheat at a game. Okay, first of all, you're playing by yourself. Secondly, you're not playing against other people. Third of all, it's your choice how you want to play it. Why should it be so bad that I choose whether I choose to cheat or not to cheat? I don't frown upon anybody. I've said that plenty of times, and I can't stress that enough. I'll even say even when I'm dead and gone, it's still not that bad. No matter whether you cheat or you don't cheat, it doesn't matter. And to be fair, in life we always cheated. We even cheat life out of death. Because think about it, every day we live, yeah, we cheat life. And there's so much stuff that in this game that could even cheat in this game anyway. Like, literally, it's actually both technically cheating and not cheating when you actually level grind to the point that you're actually already getting limit breaks that you shouldn't already be having at this point. All except for the final one. The final one, unfortunately, you can't unlock until you can get it, but you can't use it until another later point in the game. But like early enough in the game, you can get up to level 3, and unlock everything. But see, that's technically cheating and not cheating. So really, why is it that we don't never think about that? But when somebody actually uses a damn cheat code, oh, it's so bad, it's in the freaking world, we're gonna have a problem with that. Honestly, if someone uses a cheat code, I'm gonna say good for you. I'm proud of you. Now don't get me wrong, I do try to do things legitimately normally without a cheat code, because a lot of games I feel that, even for the fun sake aside, that there's both a side to cheating and not cheating. There's both ways. I believe in it being both ways, that there's both a fun side to not cheating and to cheating. You know, just depends on the game, and it depends on whether or not I've beaten it to the point that I'm ready to do it or not, or if I actually have to use cheat codes. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, cheat codes are the best way to go, and then sometimes I feel like there's just, oh my god, there's no way in hell you'd be able to do this game unless you're absolutely lucky and you have a lot of patience to keep going through credits and getting through a bunch of game overs like another game I know of. Yeah, I don't have the patience to deal with that. You know, I mean, I don't mind like getting weapons and stuff like that normally, and not having. I mean, I'd rather have like unlimited ammo, unlimited health if I had to. A lot of times I'd like to play through a game with unlimited ammo. But the items, the guns themselves, and not so much. I don't really need them on hand. But it wouldn't hurt to have one, where you're actually unlimited ammo, because it also depends on the difficulty. Because a lot of times, games like Resident Evil 4, believe it or not, in the easier levels, you'll get it anyway, you won't need to cheat. But the later levels, the difficulties, you're going to need to want to cheat, because it's so limited and far in between, so it's scarce. It might be several leagues ahead before you find any more ammo for any one of your weapons. That's how bad that game is. So really, you might be trying to challenge yourself, but that would mean you would have to restrict yourself to so many bullets, and it's impossible to do because you're fighting something, unless you're absolutely super lucky. And I've seen people that were super lucky. Not everybody has that. So really, it's not going to hurt someone to use cheat codes at that point. See, in that game, you don't need cheat codes when you first start, because that's the way you have to start anyway. One of the easier modes. Not that there's really an easy mode, because there never really is. But it's easy enough compared to the later levels. There's always one point in that game as well that's very difficult. Like, there's a dude in there that no matter what difficulty you're on, you have to somewhat get past him, kind of survive long enough, or kill him as many shots as you can. And it's not very easy. It's hard. It gets harder every time you do it. There are guys like him that are even tougher, no matter what, And also, there are certain areas you can't get access to unless you're in a harder difficulty. That's why some games roll. So basically, this was all for naught. I wanted to show you a way to do this legitimately without cheating. And again, I don't have anything, unlike you people. You people that are so against cheating. Cause it's like you never cheated in your day in your life. you're afraid to actually take a chance on the wild outside just to cheat. I mean, I'm not telling you to cheat like you have to, but at least you should try it before you knock it. Like, you're so down and, afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to do it. I just choose not to a lot of the time. And it has nothing to do with, because I've tried it and I find it fun. I find it that it's boring a lot of times unless you put Chicos in there. And it's not that you shouldn't have to rely on Chicos to have fun. It's usually that you shouldn't either way, to be fair. Because that's like telling a person they shouldn't live, or that they should live because you have that right. You have the right to live however you want to. If you don't cheat, I'm not mad at you. I mean, you shouldn't rely on the fact that, because, you were taught, in school not to cheat and everything. Okay, look, cheating, it just depends on the thing. I don't go, well, cheating, it's just so wrong and it's bad. Yeah, unfortunately, that philosophy only applies to certain areas of life. Like, you can't take shortcuts even though you still could and still kind of make it, but it depends on the shortcut and if it's well worth it. Like, in other words, for example, you can't just, say, well, if I go rob this bank, I'll be okay even if I go to jail, and then I'll come back out about it. No, that's not worth it. But let's say you were to do something similar to that effect without robbing a bank, and you took a shortcut, but not one that's not worth risking. Because where that is not worth risking. That's just examples, not something I could really do better than that to explain. But anyway, if you don't think so, think again, because sometimes in life we have to have shortcuts. We don't always have to have them, but sometimes we need them. Because, actually, you know what? I can think of a good, better example right now that I think about it. Like, when you're so stressed out and you just need a way out, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. That's one of the things I was always taught through life. Where there's a will, there's always a way. Remember that. And without that, we just explode. Or we just do something so drastic, and I hate to say it because it's wrong, and I know it's a bad word, but take our own life. Not that I've ever thought about doing that, and I never have. Not for that situation, anyway. But a lot of people, and I can see why they would do it. I'm not saying that I would recommend it, nothing like that. But I can see why, and I can understand it. Doesn't mean it makes it right, but hey, it happens. It's life. And that's only if you let it get to you to that point, of course, obviously, if you don't already know that. If you do, well, then disregard that, because, obviously, you're the kind of person who doesn't need me to tell you that. But if you do, well, then, hey, I'm glad I've taught you something that you didn't know. So, because, I'm not here to teach you something you already know. If you don't already know it, then, hey, no big deal. There ain't really much I can do for you anyway. But, and if you don't take, my word for it, there's so many other people who can tell you the same thing. There's a lot of evidence, a lot of different ways to prove it to you. But cheating isn't all that bad, but not all that necessary either. But neither is not cheating. In life, there's always fair paths to take. Depends on which one you take. And if you want to get technical, every path is bad. No matter how good it may lead to, there is always bad. And you may not think so because you don't even know it, but it is bad. Because of the in-betweens, things that we don't really think about, that we eventually forget. Like, something could happen and hit the fan, like, something happened all of a sudden. Like, you think it's going all good, because it is. It's going all good until something hits the fan, like, oh, by the way, now you owe $500,000. What? Perfect example, but not always the case. You're missing the point. But, you see, I'm just saying, literally, you want to talk about fair game and gain, or whatever the hell it is. It's just, that's the way life rolls. We all have our ways of living our own life. our own ways of dealing with things. And unfortunately, sometimes in life, and no, I'm not commending it again. Let me just be clear on the record for that. I'm not recommending it, and I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's a good thing that they're doing it. No, I'm not like that. That's just stupid. But yeah, suicide. It's a sore, sensitive subject, and I realize that. And I'm not here to make jokes about that. I don't ever make jokes about it. I might make a funny little doodad with it, but not like it's a joke, okay? And I know it may seem that way, but I'm trying not to do that. Even it's kind of like I'm trying to put it the way that it sounds like I'm not angry, but I can't at the same time I can't stress it enough without it being like, oh, like I'm just jumping down your throat when I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you something that you may or may not know. And if you do know, well, then disregard it. Like I said, everything I say to you, if you already know this, then you don't need me to tell you. If you don't know, then I'm glad I taught you something. See, I'm willing to learn something. It all depends on what it is, too. Anybody is that way. I don't care who you are. I mean, shoot. It depends on the situation, though. Like, if there's something kind of learning to be submissive, I don't think so. A lot of people don't want to learn to be submissive. I mean, even though that even in life we are still submissive because we learn to adapt. I mean, it's a way to think of things, even though that we're not really trying to be submissive, but we just do. Like we submit to the idea of change, to the idea that we do things to the point that, for the better, the good, and sometimes worse. Not really the best idea, but hell, not necessarily always worse. At times it can lead to good things, and sometimes it can still, even with that, it can lead to bad things. And it's not just because you did that, but the path you take is always a thorny one, because it's, the right path is always a thorny one. That's why it's also considered a bad path, no matter what you choose. The worst paths are the ones that are bad, really what we consider bad that we are aware of. The ones that we were not aware of that are good but are bad anyway. It's a locked and lonely road, but we still make it through. My life is throw of stones or whatever you want to call that, but we are what we are. We're a life form. We're a person. We're a human being. We're aliens or whatever we may be. And we're also not just that, but what we were given through life. The mindset and the personality. Not just that, but what we know to feel that's right inside of us. Not to say that we're necessarily males, but we're not exactly not either if we are that. Because it's not really about gender either. It's not even about race. Even though that we do have different colors. And I know that a lot of people don't consider this racism, but you want to. Like when you pick a different color on an item and they want to charge you more for that, I think that should be considered racism and not a thing. I think that it should stay the same price. Or that if you want to, you could offer more. Not like, well, it's going to go higher if you choose a different price. Like it might as well be, even though it's not, but it doesn't really matter as far as it goes. It's just it matters in the fact that it gets higher than what it would be cheaper if you choose one specific color. That's still racism in my book. And I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's fair when they do that stuff. Like, if you want to pick a white box or a pink colored limousine, a rainbow color, you get to pay almost a fortune. Well, in most cases, yes. But it also depends on the item and the product. But it's still wrong. It doesn't make it any more right. So, really, I think it's stupid. I mean, when they make soda cans dark colors or whatever, you don't get charged more for that, do they? I mean, I know for a fact that when you go to buy them, no. But, like, I don't know anything about shipping costs and whatnot when it comes to the stores. But it's still ridiculous no matter what. Even if it was that. But, see, stores, the difference is the stores can actually afford it when they make as much as, like, Walmart does. They make a practical killing. Far more enough to afford that. I mean, yeah, when you first started on a business anywhere, yeah, it's not gonna make enough. But when you start making the amount of what Walmart makes or any fast food restaurant, yeah, you can afford it because it ain't nothing. It's like basic chump change. It's like giving a rich person a mirror that would normally be like maybe a penny, for example, but instead it cost them $1 billion, and they've got way more than $1 billion. And I've never heard of anything. You know, I used to not even know what was before a million or after a million, then there came $1 billion. And I didn't know there came up to $1 trillion, and finally that came out. And I still don't know what comes after $1 trillion, but according to games, yes, games, even though they don't exist, and this is just according. It doesn't. And again, I'm gonna make this clear. That doesn't make it so or not so. It just means it makes it more of a possibility, like a theory. Like A. I don't know what that stands for. You know, it's beyond trillion. Because in this game, I found the very first game that I ever saw that went beyond even that was Idle Miner. I think it's called or something. Let me just look that up real quick. It's on my iPhone. Which, by the way, I got that fixed. Which I can finally now take off my messenger if I want to. And make room for other things. So let me think here. Yeah, that's what it's called. Idle Miner. Very first game I've ever known to ever represent and produce money, you know, or whatever they call it, that's higher than $1 trillion. I mean, way more than what Trump would be making if it even exists. I don't know. I don't even know what you would call that, really, because it's like 2 A's, and then also even has even more than that. I'm like, okay. Because believe it or not, I've been that far when I actually did that on Android. But a lot of my app games that I have from an app store are going to go on my iPhone. Just depends on what it is. As for, let me do that without starting. As for BitChute, I'm not going to have that on here because I'm going to delete that because it don't work too well. I can only use it off the browser, which is fine. It works out just fine. But either way, yeah. So, you know. And it may seem silly to have 2 accounts. I forgot I had 2 accounts with Storyfire, which was a mistake. But the thing is to do with already 2 accounts I have on YouTube, and that's about it. That's all I have. And because I know I'm talking about accounts, but I'm not doing that to take advantage of anything. I'm doing it because, well, I already created it and it's too late. It's basically a story of my life. It'll keep on continuing to go on, and even when I'm gone. And that's if I can find a successor worthy enough that would take over the project of both of them. Or they can obviously do it. I don't know about them looking like me or anything like that. Maybe get them to voice me. But other than that, there are the 2 me's. You know. But other than that, you know, I'm not impressed with Top War. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool when I first saw it. Then it started getting that stuff. And, you know, just like advertisements just like suck. And it about plays out like survival. I forget what its full game name of it is. But anyway, It goes out with the whole, it announces and you can't turn it off, or it announces people actually winning. Congratulations, you unlocked hero, blah, blah, blah. Congratulations, you did this, you did that. I think that's ridiculous. So anyway, wow, I talked way too long. Bye-bye.